All right, so tonight we will be doing a smoked pulled pork. This is a pork butt. It's about a 8 pounder, so this one's gonna cook overnight, and then I'll check on it throughout the evening. So for this one, we're just gonna do a simple rub. I'll trim it a little bit, and then we'll throw it on the smoker, heat it at about 225 for about an hour and a half to 2 hours per pound. So that'll take anywhere between 12 to 16 hours to smoke. So if we get this in overnight, we're gonna have it ready for about lunchtime tomorrow. So the first step we're gonna do here is we are going to trim this down just a little bit. At the bottom of this pork butt, there is a pretty decent fat cap. We're really just gonna trim off a tiny bit of it just to get rid of any of the excessive hard pieces of fat. So you can kind of feel those as you go through here, but I'm just gonna trim down just a little bit. We're not gonna get rid of all of it. This will add to some of the juiciness of the pork butt, so we don't want to get rid of too much of it. All right, so we've trimmed this down just a little bit. We didn't take off too much here, but some spots I got a little lower than I wanted, but we got enough. So the next step is I'm just gonna score the fat here. So what's left of this, I'm gonna just cut slices in a grid or tic-tac-toe shape, just enough to go through the fat to reach the meat. And what that'll do is that will help the rub reach the meat. Otherwise, no flavoring will penetrate this fat. Okay, so for this step, we're just going to apply a binder here that will help the rub stick to the pork butt. So you can use water, you can use oil, vinegar, mustard. I'm just going to use some oil here to get this good and covered and allow the rub to stick. All right, so now with that done, I'm going to use this rub. I'm just going to sprinkle the rub on here, try not to get it all over myself. So we're just going to massage that in a little bit, spread it around. So now the next step is just going to be to get this in the smoker. So I'm going to face this with the fat side up initially, and then we will wait till it gets to 165 degrees, and then I will bring it back in and I will wrap it up, and then we'll cook the remainder of the time until it gets somewhere around 200. All right, so that's it for now. So we're at temperature, so we're going to go ahead and get this pork butt on the smoker. We've got the meter in there, so it's synced up to my phone, so we've got that started so we can monitor this as it's out here on the smoker. All right, so we'll let that stay on there until we get to about 165, which should happen in a few hours. I'll come back out, we'll get it wrapped, put back in there, and then it'll cook the rest of the night and into the morning, and then I'll come out and check on it when I wake up. Temperature looks to have reached 200. It's been on for a little over 13 hours, 14 hours actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off here and get started on resting. All right, so we'll let that rest for a couple of hours and then we'll come back and we'll start doing the process of pulling the pork. All right, so we are all done resting. So there it is. Just gonna pull this bone out of here. Pull this bone the rest of the way out of here. As you can see, the meat just comes right off of it. We got the bone fully out of there. So we've got the claws here. So I'm just gonna dig into this. All right. As you can see, it's shredding pretty easily. Alright, so we've got that all pulled apart. I'm gonna use a crock pot here to let this sit until we're ready to serve it. Got some apple juice in there. That'll help keep it nice and moist so it doesn't dry out. And then I will move it over into a smaller 3 crock pot setup later where I can put barbecue sauce on some and none on the other, because I personally do not want barbecue sauce on mine. The final step will be to have my taste tester tell me how this tastes. So you got a piece there, and what do you think?
Yeah.
Is it good? Are you gonna pick at it all afternoon or all morning?
No.
I said one taste.
I know what you said. Doesn't mean I'm gonna listen.
And then the bone that's left, we got the big guy over here, Bruno.
Drooling.
He's drooling, waiting for that thing. So he'll get the bone while the other two look on in pure jealousy. Please feel free to leave any comments. If you have any tips or tricks, anything I should try. If you have any comments, please let me know, and like and subscribe. Thanks.